Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to Pages with Postweight. I'm Heather, or Miss Postweight if you're one of my students, and this is my rundown of the middle grade books that I read in September. Yes, September. So I read I think I read 8 books, but I read 5 middle grade books. So I'm going to talk about those 5 books today. If that sounds good, stick around. Okay, so to get started, I do have a Pixie on my lap. She has been quite the little barker today, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to talk about that's middle grade teen is Ichiro, and this is by Ryan Inzana, and it is a graphic novel and was written in 2012. I think I just read that, 2012. Yes. So it's over 10 years old, 12, 15, 13 years old. It handles some pretty heavy things in a very interesting way. And so I would just want to let you know that at the very beginning of the book, it addresses some racism and some anti-Muslim issues, some bigotry, and just some ways that people handle and respond to people who are different than them. That's at the beginning of the book. It's there purposefully. So actually at the very, very beginning, it kind of starts with the premise that sets up the connection that Ichiro is going to have to Japanese mythology when he and his mom go back to Japan to visit family, and mom has to work. And so he goes and he stays with his grandfather. And in staying with his grandfather and just kind of coming back to Japanese roots and like some of the stories and things, he ends up being pulled into Japanese mythology. And in being pulled into that Japanese mythology, a lot of the prejudices and the reactions that he's learned previously, like maybe through his grandfather, have a lesson to be learned. It's very well done, and it uses Japanese mythology to do it. And it was beautiful and very thought-provoking. And so this was, I want to say, I don't know if I gave this one 5 stars or not. It's at least a 4.5. There's elements that were difficult. There were things at the beginning where I was like, oh, I don't like this, but it pulls it together and kind of, there's reasons for it. I really enjoyed this one. I have students who I think could handle this one in 6th grade, but I might lean a little bit 7th, 8th grade, simply because some of the pieces, I don't know, I really feel like this one has a lot to offer. So highly recommend. Yeah, very well done. And like I said, it's like a 13-year-old book. So yeah. Okay. So that was the first one that I read. So the next book that I read is Room to Dream by Kelly Yang. It is book 3, trying to not glare you out, is book 3 in the Front Desk series. So we are still following Mia, her friend Lupita, and Jason. Mia and her family and Hank go back to China to visit her family. This is the first time in years, probably like 5 years, that Mia has had the opportunity to go back and visit her grandmother, her grandfather, her cousins. And because everyone in the family only has one child, the cousins were very much like siblings. And so Mia has very much missed her cousin. And so that whole thing goes very well. Hank has a great time getting to know China. They do a bunch of stuff. There's just a lot of understanding for how China has changed in the 5 years since Mia's parents left, and the struggles that Mia and her family have been going through, and how China was going through kind of a growth and a expansion. And so a lot of her family back there are doing very, very well. And her family is still kind of struggling and trying to get everything to work. Well, Mia ends up actually writing for, I'm trying not to do spoilers, I promise, but it's kind of important. She ends up kind of writing a little bit for a kids newspaper in China. And through that, ends up sharing parts of her life. And when she comes back to the US and she's kind of still writing for that newspaper, maybe shares some things that were more private and she shouldn't have shared, that have to do with friends and dynamics there. I love how imperfect the characters are in this book, and how throughout it all you see not only like their strengths, but also their weaknesses. And so I really feel like the character development in these series they're very good. They're very good. I know a lot of this series is taken from Kelly Yang's life, and she even talks a little bit about the connections to this storyline as well. I'm thoroughly enjoying these. I really am. I would like to read the next one. I'm hoping that I kind of read the next one this month, but I had 2 authors that I wanted to read their backlist, and I've read Kelly Yang now, and I haven't touched Sharon Draper, and I really want to read Sharon Draper. So the way this month is going, I don't know. There's a lot. We'll see. That was book 2. I gave that one 4 stars as well. It was a really fun book. These are great. I think I want the whole series on my shelf and hopefully give my students a chance to enjoy them too. Okay, the next one that I read, I am not going to go into a whole lot of detail because I actually have like a secret project that I am working on right now that you will get more details on if you watch that video. It has to do with October and kind of a vlog I'm doing. That being said, this is a 5-star read for me. So I read A Monster Calls. It was fantastic. This book has a movie, so I do plan to watch the movie, and I haven't done that yet. It is like a regular story, but it has some of the best pictures in it. They're stunning, and they're very dark, and there's one I was going to show you. But basically, we are following our main character, Connor, who is struggling because his mom is facing cancer and it's not going well. And this book, this book is emotional and heart-wrenching, bittersweet, as you watch Connor struggle with, as a kid, as a tween, I think he's 12. How do you face that nightmare, that horrific monster of losing the one person? It's just him and his mom, and of losing that one person who's your everything. And it's raw. And it's very real, and I cried, and I might cry now, but like I said, I'm going to go more into detail on that one in another place. Whew. Fantastic book. I cannot wait to read watch the movie and kind of compare them. The monster's not what you think it is. So yeah, 5 stars. Fantastic. Really cool thing that I'll just share really fast. The author is Patrick Ness, but do you see this one right here? This is Sabohan Daoud is actually the person that came up with the premise of this and had the notes for it and the pictures kind of sketched out for it, but she passed away from cancer. And so the story went unfinished, and I think her estate kind of reached out to Patrick Ness and asked him if he would write the story. And as he got the notes and he got kind of where she was going with this, he was very open and honest. And there is like a note in here that talks about this. He he was very open and honest and said, I cannot write her story, but I will absolutely write a story inspired by these characters. Yeah, so very touching, very sweet. Yeah, highly recommend. Okay, the next book was like a classic that I haven't read. Again, it has a movie, so I'm gonna watch that with my family, with my kiddos. So Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. And I have wanted to read this book for a very long time. I've wanted to watch the movie for a very long time. I hear a lot of good things about it. And originally my plan had been to be able to see it. The local theater was kind of playing a lot of these. They're all part of a movie series that has gone right out of my brain. So when I remember it, I'll put it here. But it was playing it. I did not finish the book in time. And when I was like, oh, whatever, let's just go see it, I was a day late and $1 short. So nope, didn't happen. So we're just going to watch it. We'll stream it, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, Howl's Moving Castle. I enjoyed it. I listened to it on audio. I think my problem was me. It's a me problem, not a book problem. Is just that the way I listen to a lot of audios is like my commute back and forth. And so this one was so disjointed, and I wasn't having like a long sit down where I would read it or listen to it. And so I wasn't really motivated to get it done. And it just was drug out like through the whole month. I really think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had just sat down and finished it, which I did. Yesterday was my last day of September and I finished it. I got it done. And I did enjoy the ending very much. It's getting a 4-star from me. Yeah, 4 stars. It's cute. I did enjoy Sophie. I did enjoy Howl, but it took a while to get there. Which brings me to the last book, and this one again is for something else, and so I'm really not going to go into it a whole lot, but it is The Monster in the Lake by Louise Stoll. It's book 2 in the series, but I didn't read book 1, again because of a secret project, and it's cute. It's an earlier middle grade, a lower middle grade. So I would say 4th and 5th grade. This is probably the age that it's aimed at. Some really good vocabulary. I will say the vocabulary was impressive in here. So sure, 6th grade too. Follows our friend Kit, and they are a new learning, expanding wizard and their 2 friends that kind of join in the adventure, and we have a monster in the lake. Our monster might actually belong somewhere, say cough cough, Scotland. It was cute, it was sweet. I would give this one 3.5 stars, and yeah, I finished it. So yep, Monster in the Lake. So that was 5 books for the month of September. I really had expected to read a little bit more, but life be lifin'. So I do have a couple different things that are going to be happening in October with some of the time that I have, and I'm excited for that. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, happy reading. I hope you had some great reads, and yeah, we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.